years, each generation before us did what needed to be done. For over 2 centuries, each generation of Americans before us confronted and solved problems. They embraced opportunities, and Americans have never had it easy. This was a nation founded by declaring independence from the most powerful empire in the world.
It was also a nation founded on stealing land from the Native Americans that were already here. It was also founded on getting free labor from African Americans brought over as slaves and used in order to enhance the economic well-being of people primarily in the South.
This was a nation that faced a divisive and bloody civil war, 2 great world wars, a long Cold War. The 1960s were difficult for this country. The civil rights movement divided us regionally. The Vietnam War divided us generationally. Americans have never had it easy. But each generation before us confronted their challenges and solved their problems. And that's why each generation before us left a country better off than the one that was left for them. My fellow conservatives, the time has come for this generation to do its part. The moment has arrived for us to do our part now. And the stakes cannot be higher because the future of the greatest nation on earth is at stake. And I want to speak specifically to the younger people here today, because I know there's a lot of negativity out there. I know that times are difficult. I want you to know that I believe something with all my heart. I believe that today's young Americans are on the verge and have the chance to become the next greatest generation in American history. I believe that the 21st century is tailor-made for America. There are now hundreds of millions of people on this planet that a decade ago were starving, and now they want to buy things from you. They want to trade with you. They want to partner with you and collaborate with you. And these young Americans are the best collaborators in the history of mankind. These young Americans are the most technologically advanced people that have ever lived. On the campaign trail, unless you're under 25, no one knows how to use their camera phone. These young Americans have the chance to fulfill an incredible potential and destiny. But we have to give them a chance. And they won't have a chance if a Hillary Clinton or a Bernie Sanders is elected. And they won't have a chance. And they won't have a chance if the conservative movement is hijacked by someone who is not a conservative.
And they won't have a chance if any of you nominees get elected president, because conservatives are going to take this country back to the dark ages.
And so, I'm already over time, so let me close with this. Well, I gotta answer questions. I get to answer questions now in a moment from Dan and Bash.
Well, so let me close with this. The civil rights struggle, legitimate civil rights struggle, lasted from 1954 to 1968. During that period of time, as I stated previously, various federal laws were passed. Various federal rulings were granted, including the separate but equal doctrine was overturned in Brown versus Board of Education. Interracial marriages were legalized in the Loving v. Virginia ruling of 1967. There was the ratification of the 23rd and the 24th Amendments in 61 and 64. You had the Civil Rights Act of 1957, the Civil Rights Act of 1960, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which is the one that most people refer to. You had the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and you had the Civil Rights Act of 1968. Okay, all of those things were done because most of the southern states, and also in the north, things were going on as well, but the rights of African Americans had to be more than ratified. They had to actually have the force of law behind them in order to protect those rights for us. These guys would never, and I repeat, never have passed any of these acts on their own. I give you Barry Goldwater, who was running for president. If he had succeeded, there was no way that we would be in the condition that we are in now, and that's not even saying that we're in a great condition. But the next 8 years are going to be key to which way this country goes, and hopefully how far up the African community can come by pulling itself up by its bootstraps, because we're sure not getting a hell of a lot of help from anybody else.